Hi, welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we're going to look at two numbers aligned diagonally and the five spaces surrounding these two numbers. Okay, when the difference between the two numbers is 5, x minus y is 5, meaning x is the bigger number, then the five spaces surrounding the bigger number, these will all turn into black spaces, and then the five spaces surrounding the smaller number will always be gray. Okay, so here you can see 6 and the 1, right? Difference of 5 spaces, 5 spaces surrounding the bigger number, right? These are all become black spaces, and the 5 spaces surrounding the smaller number, they all become gray. The same thing, 7 and the 2, these are in different direction, but same thing, 5 spaces here and here. And likewise for 8 and the 3, 8 being the bigger number, 5 spaces down here. These are all black spaces, and all these are gray spaces. Uh, I will explain to you why that is. So let's take a look at 7 and the 2. Again, 7 and the 2. And if we look at the 3 by 3 space here, with 2 being the center, so that means in this green area, only 2 of the spaces can become black. Right? So in this green area. Now we're going to look at the 3 by 3 space with 7 being the center. Now since we know that only 2 of the spaces in this green area will have the color black, uh, but you need to have 7 altogether. So the remaining 5, the 5 have to be black. Okay, so this is actually quite simple. These When you see these on the puzzle, then you just know to put, right, uh, the black marks and the gray marks accordingly. Um, they're very easy to spot, but unfortunately there aren't that many of them. Um, but you do need to understand the concept because you will actually see um, more like this example here um, in the actual puzzles. You will see plenty. So here you have 6 and the 2, and one of the space being gray. Now the difference is not 5, the difference is 4, but we're going to use the same concept. So first we're going to take a look at the 3 by 3 space with 2 in the center. That means in this green area, right, only 2, you will have 2 black spaces along the green area. So now if you look at the 3 by 3 with 6 in the center, and you know that you could only have 2 black spaces in this green area, but you need to make 6 altogether. So the remaining 4, they will they have to be black spaces, right? Now, so you have 4 black spaces here, and you have to have 2 black spaces in this green area to make a 6 altogether. So since you know that you have 2 black spaces here already, now if you look at 3 by 3 here, you have 2 black spaces here, then means you already found the 2. So rest of these will turn gray, just like that. Okay. Now we'll take a look at 7 and the 3. Again, the difference is not 5, but this time you have a black space here next to the 3. Um, so first look at the 3 by 3 with the 3 in the center. Now, since we already found one black space, you will have 2 more black spaces somewhere on the green area, right? Now, we're going to look at the 3 by 3 space with the 7 in the center. Now, we just found out that in this green area here, we can have 2 black spaces, right? But we need to have 7. So we have 2 in this area, then the remaining 5, they will all turn into black spaces, right? So we have we need to make 7, so we have 5 here, and we're gonna have 2 black spaces here. So if you look at the 3 by 3, again with the 3 in the center, you have 1 black space here, and we know that we're gonna have 2 more black spaces here. So that means we found all 3. So that makes the rest, this one and then this one, gray. You may have noticed that the difference between the two numbers is 4. Right? I started off the tutorial with the difference being 5, but now it's 4. Um, Knowing that difference is irrelevant. Um, so only time it'll really help you is when you know that the difference is 5, then you could just go ahead and color them off accordingly and then move on. When the difference is not 5, you just have to know, such as in this example, you just have to know how to approach it. So just follow what I did where I break this into 2 3 by 3 spaces, um, one having 2 in the center and the other having 6 in the center. So you break it down and then you could do this. Right? Same thing, you just break it down into 2 3 by 3 spaces to do it. And when you're doing this, um, the last thing you think about is what happens when the difference is 4, right? Again, because it's relevant. But in case you're curious, I will explain to you what happens. But again, knowing this will not help you in solving the puzzle. Um, so let's look at the two numbers here where the difference is 1. Um, X being the bigger number, 3 and 2, 4 and 3, 8 and 7, and so on and so forth. Then the number of black spaces in this area, right? It's always one more than the number of black spaces in this area. Okay? When the difference is 2, when x minus y is 2, then the number of black spaces in this area surrounding the bigger number is always 2 more than the number of black spaces down here. So it goes on. So 2, 3, 4. Same thing for yeah 3 over 4. When the number is the same, when x is equal to y, then you will have the same number of black spaces in both areas. Some examples. Um, the difference of two numbers being 1, uh, you will have one more black space in this area than this area. Right? The difference of 2. If the difference of two numbers is 2, then the difference of number of spaces, this area and this area, is also 2. Uh, Same thing, if the difference is 4, you will have 4 more. And if the difference is 3, obviously then you will have 3 more on the top. Let's say looking at this, if you have, let's say 5 of these are black spaces, and if the difference is 2, then you will have 3 black spaces down here. But again, this is really not that important. So yeah, I just wanted to show you, but yes, you don't have to know this. But if you've been following all my tutorials, then congratulations, because now you have all the basics you need to solve these puzzles. Um, but you do need to use them in combination. So I will cover more of those in my next video. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thank you. Bye.